SpectrumTv, broadening your horizon.
Hello and welcome to Spectrum News at 2. I am Francis Edet, coming to you live from the beautiful hills of Ibiakuran. Let's take a look at the headlines. House of Representatives seek urgent steps to save Lagos riverside from disaster. Winner of Anambra governorship poll, Professor SOLUDO, dedicates victory to slain policemen. Judge rejects ex-US President Trump's bid to withhold Capitol riot records. Details of these stories and more in a moment. First in our news this afternoon is a report that the House of Representatives is seeking for urgent steps to prevent a looming natural disaster in communities in Etiosa local government area of Lagos State following the encroachment of the lagoon. In a motion moved by the lawmaker representing Etiosa Federal Constituency in Lagos State, Ibrahim Obanikoro stated that the House is disturbed about threats to lives and properties in areas like Banana Island, Parkview Estate, Osborne Foreshore Estate, Ikoyi, Victoria Island, Lekki, Aja, among others, in Etiosa local government area of Lagos State due to storm, water, ocean encroachment and heavy rainfalls, as several properties running into billions have been destroyed by floods, causing displacement of families and even loss of lives. The House therefore urged the Ecological Fund Office to carry out an immediate environmental impact assessment of the area with the aim of mitigating against climate change and natural hazards like ocean surge, flooding and storms that may occur in the nearest future. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari announced that Nigeria is looking to invest in nuclear energy as part of efforts to reduce dependence on fossil fuels and adapt to climate change. The president's remark in his message to rich nations at the COP26 was contained in a statement signed by the presidential spokesman Garba Shehu. According to the President Buhari, Nigeria is among a handful of African countries exploring nuclear power with a research reactor already operational. He also urged rich countries to support the less developed ones as the race towards the net zero carbon emissions heats up. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari flagged off the first ever rain-fed commercial wheat cultivation in Nigeria. Speaking at the ceremony, the president, who was represented by Plateau State Governor Simon Bako, called on Nigerian farmers to embrace wheat farming and stop importation of the product, gulping more than $2 billion annually. He identified the agricultural sector as one of the critical non-oil sectors which made significant contributions to the gross domestic product of the country. Still on agriculture, federal government is considering an Operation Feed Yourself initiative to encourage the establishment of urban farms and small home gardens across the country. Vice President Yemi Osibanjo explained that the initiative was to be undertaken in collaboration with states under the auspices of the National Economic Council and the National Council on Nutrition at a high-level meeting on nutrition. Osibanjo said the initiative was one of three major plans arising from the UN-backed food system dialogue to advance the fight against malnutrition. On the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos State, federal government has dismissed as false and unfounded the rumors circulating on social media that the bridge has opened up According to spokesperson of the Federal Ministry of Works, Biode Akinola, the Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Olukayode Popular, drove on the bridge without noticing any opening, as claimed in the rumors. He advised members of the public not to take the report seriously, adding that the bridge was safe for motorists. In Anambra State, winner of Anambra State governorship polls, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has dedicated his victory to 3 policemen killed when he was attacked by gunmen in April this year during a town hall meeting at Ishofa, Agwata local government area of the state. Speaking during an acceptance speech soon after he was declared winner by the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Charles Soludo said they remember of those who died during the course of his governorship race, especially the 3 policemen who were killed by unknown gunmen, and prayed God to continue to grant their souls eternal rest. Soludo is expected to be sworn into office in the month of March next year after the expiration of the 2-term tenure of the incumbent governor, Willie Obaino. On Nnamdi Kanu's trial, Justice Binta Njako of the Federal High Court in Abuja today adjourned till January 19th the trial of detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Delivering a short ruling, Justice Njako expressed displeasure over the conduct of Kanu's lawyers and declined to dismiss the pending application and rather adjourned the case till January 19th, 2020. For trial, Nnamdi Kanu, who was brought into the courtroom around 9:52 a.m., had shortly after his case was called up, bemoaned the refusal of security agents to allow some members of his legal team, especially his lawyer from the United States of America, Bruce Fien, to enter the courtroom. On legislative matters, Senate has directed the Inspector General of Police, Ahmed Baba Al-Khali, to publish the report of the investigation into the invasion of the residence of Justice Mary ODILI'S house. The resolution of the lawmakers followed a point of order moved by Senator Betty Apiafi at plenary. The Senate condemned the invasion allegedly carried out by security agents based on a controversial court order and described it as a breach of Justice ODILI'S privacy. Still on the legislature, House of Representatives has called for a bill to harmonize retirement age for teachers in the country. The executive bill was passed yesterday at the resumption of plenary in the lower chamber of the National Assembly in Abuja. The bill, which is sponsored by the House Leader Al-Hassan Dogua and his colleague Adekoya Abdul Majid, seeks to raise the retirement age for teachers from 60 to 65 years and increase their years of service from 35 to 40 years. In education, the Registrar and Chief Executive Officer, National Examinations Council, NECO, Dantani Wushishi, has urged stakeholders to prioritize moral education to address social and security challenges bedeviling the country. Wushishi made the call during the maiden National Conference of Education organized by the Faculty of Education, Federal University, Kashere, Gombe State. Speaking on the theme of the conference, Emerging Innovations for Curtailing Contemporary Challenges and Issues in Education Practice, Wushishi stated that for education to be impactful on the society, stakeholders had to prioritize moral values. Back here in AKWA State, Civil Society Organizations Forum is advocating the strengthening of a consequence mechanism to ensure that those in position of authority are deterred from stealing from the treasury of the people. The chairman of the forum, Hilary Udo, made the call while fielding questions from Spectrum television reporters. He commended the Federal High Court ruling which convicted and sentenced the former chairman of the defunct pension reform tax team, Abdul Rahid Maina, to 8 years in prison for money laundering.
consider the quantum of the funds that this man, aggrandized to himself, that he pillaged from pensioners. For him to be given 62 years, running concurrently for 8 years, is a slap on the wrist. To ask him to refund just about 2.1 billion out of the multi-billions that he took, that's not enough. He's just going, they are sending him to go and rest for 8 years. He comes back and he enjoys his loot. This is not what we want. And we are advocating that consequence mechanism, in our country should be strengthened and made strong enough such that it deters. Assuming if Mena is jailed for life, any other person sitting in the pension office right now would know that if he infringes on the law, if he pilfers, the common patrimony of the people, he will end up spending the rest of his life in jail. The judgment is not deterrent enough, because when the judiciary passes this judgment, it's supposed to act as deterrent, all right? But this one on Mena is not enough to deter others. They will just steal more, and use some of it to further their way into safety. Good thing that judgment has been passed. Good thing that Mena has been convicted finally. Now he's been asked to make repayments, but 8 years, 62 years running concurrently for 8 years isn't enough deterrence.
AKWA IBOM, the police command has vowed to make the state waterways unsafe for criminals. This was contained in a statement signed by the police public relations officer, SP Odiko McDon. According to the statement, the Commissioner of Police, Andrew Amiegeme, who said the recent deployment of security operatives in the state had started yielding fruits, urged criminals to stay clear of the state. He said the command nabbed 2 suspected sea pirates and recovered firearms and 4 stolen engine boats from them. Still to come on the news. Brazil and Argentina eye Qatar World Cup qualification. Stay with us. Thanks for staying tuned. In Africa, Benin Republic has taken delivery of 26 treasures that were reportedly looted by French forces during colonial times 130 years ago. The development is in a fulfillment of a promise made by French President Emmanuel Macron to restore a lost part of Africa's heritage. Benin Republic President Patrice Talon and Culture Minister Jean-Michel Abimbola traveled to Paris to take home the artifacts, which were taken during the ransacking of the Beninese kingdom of Dahomey, including a royal throne. Addressing reporters at the presidential palace in Paris, Talon said the treasures were more than mere cultural goods, which was a term used by the French authorities to describe the items. Still in Africa, police have seized thousands of spent cartridges in Nakuru, Kenya, and are holding a 33-year-old man for harboring the cartridges in his house. Rift Valley Regional Criminal Investigations Officer Mwenda Meme said investigators believe that the other suspect on the run is the owner of the illegal card. Police says female suspect believed to have been working with the man is on the run, and the man, whose name remains undisclosed, was arrested after a tip-off from the public. On the foreign scene, a United States judge has ruled that a congressional committee investigating the Capitol riot can access some of ex-President Donald Trump's White House records. Trump had sought to invoke executive privileges under which presidential documents can be kept secret. The inquiry is trying to find out if Trump had prior knowledge of the riot. Trump supporters had supportedly stormed the Capitol building on January 6 this year as Congress was certifying President Joe Biden's election victory, and Trump has claimed that the election was rigged. On the business news today, 25 years after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Bulgaria and Nigeria have unveiled the Nigeria-Bulgaria Business Exchange Platform to strengthen bilateral cooperation and bridge the trade and investment gap between both countries. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the Republic of Bulgaria, Yanko Yondadov, in Abuja described the platform as something that had been the goal of both countries' cooperation for so long. He said the event marked an excellent bilateral cooperation between the two nations and underscored the need for sustainability of a strong relationship between them. Still in business, the International Air Transport Association has said the price of jet fuel has increased by 70% since the start of January 2021. According to the association, which represents more than 290 international airlines, the increase is putting pressure on airlines' operating costs and threatening the industry's profitability. The group said jet fuel price continued to trend upwards in recent weeks as economic activity restarted around the world and supply remained tight. On a health news, Nigeria's Center for Disease Control (NCDC) says the country has continued to record increase in the number of confirmed cases of COVID-19, as 64 new cases have been recorded with 8 deaths. Nigeria now has a total of 212,829 confirmed cases, 204,335 discharged, and 2,914 deaths recorded in 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory. Still on health, the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency has vaccinated 5,770,899 eligible persons with the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccination. The agency's Director, Planning, Research and Statistics, Abdullahi Garba, who announced this in Abuja, said 3,146,885 people have taken the second dose. He noted that there were more than 8 million doses of vaccines in the country at the moment, with more doses to come. In sports, Brazil will host Colombia in Sao Paulo tomorrow, hoping to achieve victory to secure their tickets to Qatar with 6 World Cup qualifiers to spare. A draw for the Seleco World will be enough if Uruguay lose at home to Argentina on Friday. Report says Brazilian coach Tite is already planning to head to the Arab Cup in Qatar next month to check out World Cup venues and facilities. On our entertainment news, Nollywood actress Yvonne Jegede has won 9 out of 10 awards at the Toronto Nollywood Film Festival. The actress, who disclosed this on her Instagram page, said the award-winning movie, which is set to be released by next year, is written and co-produced by her. That's all we have for you at this time. Be sure to follow us on social media and do subscribe to our YouTube channel, all of which you can find on our website, SpectrumTv.ng. You've been watching Spectrum TV News at 2. I am Francis Edet, saying enjoy the rest of your day.